This is All India Radio. The news read by Naresh Margo. Jharkhand Mukti Morcha leader Hemant Soren was sworn in as the new Chief Minister of Jharkhand this morning. The state governor Dr. Syed Ahmed administered the oath of office in secrecy to Mr. Hemant Soren at Birsa Mandap of the Ranchi Raj Bhavan. Along with him, Mr. Rajendra Prasad Singh of the Congress and Mrs. Annapurna Devi of the RJD were also sworn in as ministers. This is the first time in 13 years of Jharkhand history that Congress is directly in power. Earlier, it had supported the Madhu Koda government from outside. The floor test for the new government is likely to be on the 16th of this month. Congress President Sonia Gandhi is meeting with the chief ministers of Congress-ruled states and party functionaries on the successful implementation of the Food Security Bill. The meeting is taking place at Mrs. Gandhi's residence in New Delhi and is deliberating on the rollout of the Food Security Bill, estimated to benefit over 82 crore people among the poor and the needy. Prime Minister Manmohan Singh, Party Vice President Rahul Gandhi, and Food Minister K.V. Thomas are present at the meeting. Our correspondent reports Mrs. Gandhi is keen to ensure the UPA government scheme is implemented in the best possible manner and the Congress-ruled states emerge as role models in implementation of the Food Security Bill. Delhi will be the first state to roll out the scheme on August the 20th, the birth anniversary of former Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi. The National Human Rights Commission NHRC will send a team to Uttarakhand next week to assess the relief and rehabilitation work being undertaken there following last month's devastating floods. The 5-member team headed by Director General Investigation Kamaljeet Deol will visit the state between 15th to 18th for an on-the-spot assessment of the situation. The team would be holding a meeting with senior state government officials on the 16th of this month in Dehradun. A statement by the NHRC said it will also hold meetings with the NGOs and visit the worst affected areas. The team would make an assessment of the number of deaths, relief camps, accessibility of food and drinking water, and alternate arrangements for rehabilitation of the affected people, among others. It would also look into assistance to farmers, medical facilities, safety and security of the people, restoration of infrastructure, and monetary relief, among others. In Maharashtra, 3 persons were reportedly washed away in floodwaters, while over 3,000 people were shifted to safer places as heavy rains disrupted normal life in Thane district. District Disaster Control Room said today incessant rain inundated several low-lying areas and flooded rivers. According to a Met forecast, heavy rains are expected in Mumbai, coastal Konkan, and other places of Maharashtra in the next 48 hours. The Met office has also cautioned fishermen against venturing into the sea. In Bhutan, voting is on for the second national elections, with the race between the country's 2 major political parties to form the government. Brisk polling was witnessed, with a large number of people coming out to exercise their franchise that will decide the fate of 94 candidates in 47 constituencies contested by 2 major parties, the ruling Druk Finchum Chokpa DPT and opposition People's Democratic Party PDP. With the start of voting at 9 a.m. local time, men, women, young and old queued up outside polling stations to cast their votes, which will continue till 5 p.m. local time. India is providing logistical support, including gifting nearly 2,000 electronic voting machines to Bhutan, and India's Chief Election Commissioner V.S. Sampath is in Thimphu to witness the democratic process in the Himalayan nation. The Sri Lankan government has ruled out international poll observers for the forthcoming elections to the Northern, Central and Northwestern Provincial Councils. General Secretary of ruling party UPFA, Susil Premajayanta, said after a meeting with the Election Commissioner that political parties should have confidence in the local mechanisms. Susil Premajayanta, whose party is in charge of election affairs in the north, denied that military is in charge in the northern province. The United States has called on Egypt's army to free deposed President Mohamed Morsi amid ongoing protests on the first Friday of Ramadan. The appeal echoed a similar call hours earlier from Germany. Mr. Morsi, who was ousted last week after the army stepped in, has since been held at a safe but unspecified location. Dozens of people have since died in clashes during major demonstrations by pro- and anti-Morsi protesters. Typhoon Solik has arrived in Taiwan, bringing strong winds and torrential rains to the island. So far, 1 person is reported to have died, while 21 have been injured in the extreme weather. That is the end of this news bulletin.